Infinite skills. If it happens on the field, man, you already know. TampaBay.com is where you gotta go to get the facts and the stats, plus the quotes and the block. 6 seasons on the block, we in #1 spot. Yeah. Tampa Bay Times got this game on lock. Friday night rewind, home team, we don't stop. 1, 2, 3.
Hey there, it's John Cody with Friday Night Rewind. I'm here with Mr. Joey Knight, and this is our playoff preview, the Pinellas edition. This is really kind of all about Largo. How far can Largo go? Can Largo win state? Some people have said that they can, and some people are disputing that. I think their first round matchup against Armwood is going to be extremely difficult, but Juwan Brown, 119 passes, no interceptions, great linebackers, great athletes all over the field. Jarvis Stewart could go for 200 yards almost any night. This is a team that is really ready now, but Armwood is going to have something to say about that.
Absolutely. Armwood's not going to go in there and lay down. They still got that Armwood mojo. They still believe they can win. And Alvin Bailey, who made clutch play after clutch play in the 2011 playoffs that led Armwood to the state title, he's going to start at quarterback. Sean Callahan has already made that announcement, but you really cannot sell them short with Alvin Bailey at quarterback.
Largo very small up front, but their defensive line is awfully quick. They have 3 guys on the defensive line, Harry Brown, Claxton Boykins, both would be 1,000-yard rushers, and Donovan Hale is the quarterback of the future. So they go with speed over size, and they also have, you know, really good linebackers, Derek Doss, Frankie Hernandez, backing those guys up. I wonder how much success Bailey will have running the ball, and I have a feeling he's going to have to throw the ball. And Joey, if Largo is the best bet to end Pinellas County's title drought, Eastlake might be close behind. I think you got to throw the Eagles in the mix. I know you've seen them and you like them as well, but you know, an explosive air attack. Pete DeNovo, who became the county's all-time leading passer this year, he passed Sean King, the former Gibbs and Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Over 2,000 yards passing, and he's got 2 of the best receivers around to throw to, George Campbell and Artavis Scott, 2 big play guys, averaging over 20 yards a catch. I think the big question really is, will Eastlake be able to run the ball when it gets down to the point where you have to run the ball? And Eastlake gets to host Treasure Coast this week. Treasure Coast only 5-3, and they're coming off a victory over Palm Bay, but that was the first victory this season over a team with a winning record. The record of all the other teams that they've beaten, only a combined 8-24, so you have to like the Eagles in the first round matchup. And if they do advance, there's a 50-50 shot they could face Palm Harbor University once again, their pesky district rivals. The Hurricanes have a very, very tough test, though, with Vero Beach. Vero Beach has come in with 5 straight victories. The question will be if the Palm Harbor offense can produce enough. But, of course, PHU likes to hang their hat on the defense. Quentin Cummings and Kyle Fedor both with over 6 sacks. And no one made PHU look worse than the Clearwater Central Catholic Marauders, and this is a Class 3A title contender, I think. Joey, you saw American Heritage against Armwood. You saw them beat Armwood, and that's a team that awaits CCC if they can make it to the state semifinals, and that's if the Marauders are fortunate, because the best team in 3A is University. I think they'll play American Heritage before that game, so American Heritage probably a better bet for the Marauders, but CCC can beat anybody right now. They've won 9 straight games, and since allowing 36 points to Eastlake in that season opener, they've only given up 35 points since then. And the CCC pass rush has been devastating. They're averaging almost 5 sacks a game. Brandon Junk, Kanan Brown, Jordan Adderley, they come at you. 5 sacks this year. I don't know how much of an opportunity they're going to get to rush the quarterback against Frostproof, Friday's opponent. Frostproof is 6-3, but they do not throw the ball much. Osceola returning to the playoffs 2 years ago, 0-10. This year they have won their last 6 games by an average of 39 points a game. It's probably the best offensive stretch I think I can ever remember from an Osceola team. And George Palmer's had some good teams in the past, have been to the playoffs a few times, but this group really just seems to be peaking right now. They run that wing T. They've had 4 different guys go over 100 yards in the last 3 weeks, including Austin Lawrence, Quadarius Patterson, Courtney Burge, Davio Clark. They got a decent quarterback, Andrew Maddock, who can throw the ball, so this isn't that much of a one-dimensional offense. but they have gone through the soft part of their schedule. Hillsborough is going to be a pretty big step up. And Lakewood, the runner-up in their district, is going to travel to unbeaten Orlando Bishop Moore, a road game. Those are always tough in the playoffs, but I kind of like this Lakewood team. If Tracy Johnson, the quarterback, is healthy, he missed a game with a concussion. Same for Laterian Latimer, the running back. They have enough offensive firepower with wide receivers Rodney Adams, Marquez Valdez, Jock Ellison. I mean, there's talent all over the field, and the defense, of course, has been spectacular. The Griffin boys, Shaquem and Shaquille, tremendous back there. And they are very, very determined to get a second-round rematch with Robinson. You saw them against Jesuit win probably their biggest game in a few years.
What I was really impressed with that night, Cody, was a little West Coast passing game that Tracy Johnson employed, getting the just short passes out to those athletes in space and letting them make things happen. It was very successful that night against a very good Jesuit defensive team. I could see them going over to Bishop Moore and doing the same thing. I'm kind of like you. I'm kind of leaning toward the Spartans on this night.
Northeast gets the honor of traveling to Bradenton Manatee. Was that a groan? That was very audible. I like Northeast down the road. They get like everybody back. They're like a poor man's Largo. They got a very good young quarterback, very good young running back, Keith Harrington, some really good wide receivers. They need some work in the trenches, but they're a ways away, and Manatee's probably going to put a hurting on. Pinellas Park will host Venice. Venice scored the second most points against Manatee this year. Only Miami Central had more. This is a very good team. They came up last year and actually surprised Countryside in the year before. They beat St. Petersburg. So they've beaten two 10-0 teams. They get a Pinellas Park team that has been a little bit up and down this year. You know, I would probably favor Countryside against Venice, and the fact that Countryside beat Pinellas Park 23-7 gives me pause. But Pinellas Park, very big up front. Kenny Crawford, a very good coach. He's going to stick to that running game. If they can establish control and keep the pace of that game, they might have a chance against Venice. Indian Rocks Christian will travel to Naples First Baptist Academy. Have you ever heard of that school?
I never have.
Yeah, I never have either. Indian Rocks, you talk about teachable moments. This might be another one. Indian Rocks gets everybody back. They got freshmen and sophomores. You saw them against Carrollwood Day School. Zeke McGaughy, Theo Anderson, Damian King. I mean, this team is the favorite for the district next year already. So what do you try to get out of this game?
Kind of the same thing. You know, you go down there with a young team and you say, guys, let's not be scared, let's not be intimidated, let's go down there. The pressure's on them. They're the home team, Naples Baptist Academy or whatever their name is. Let's have fun and see if we can win this sucker and move on in the playoffs and maybe get Carrollwood Day in the second round. You go down there and you get those young kids loose and see what they can do.
And make sure you check out our Monday night chat at 6:30 at tampabay.com/home team. You'll get to visit with the great neutral observer, Fla Fisher girl, perspective. I mean, these are all the brilliant minds of Tampa Bay football, right? I mean, that's where we get all of our information. And then all week we'll have playoff previews. We're going to have a big story on Largo this week. We'll have some more video for that as well. Make sure you keep checking back. Once again, tampabay.com/home
team, brother.
This is Friday Night Rewind.